Hello and welcome to this taste challenge. Not a Dawn Busters taste challenge, but an afternoon taste challenge. All right, I was at work, back home. Yesterday I was going through the cabinet and I said, oh, my jaw dropped. I realized I had forgotten to put the Evan Williams green label up against Old Crow. So I said, oh boy, that was a mistake. So I intend to fix the mistake. All right, let's see here. Get that out the way. Try something here. Dr. James Crow's Old Crow, the original sour mash whiskey. Today it's 80 proof. It's not the same recipe. The recipe was changed in 1987 after the Old Crow Company was purchased by Jim Beam. Okay. So now they make Old Crow Reserve, which is aged 6 years, in a black bottle, black label, which I've never seen, and this one aged 3 years. Okay. Let's see, Old Crow. Now they're saying here that the first time they used this trademark was 1863. But they're saying here 1835. Well, it might have been 63 when they acquired the trademark. I don't know the whole story, but I do know this is one of the really old brands. It's got an interesting label with some like texture on it. It's got the bird, the crow, but it was actually named after an immigrant from the United Kingdom named Dr. James Crow. Then we have Evan Williams. Since, well, they're going to say 1783, but really 1955 was when this brand was first started. So 62 years ago. Also aged 36 months. Charcoal filtered. I don't know what, it doesn't indicate charcoal filtering, okay? So it's saying enjoy the true original. Well, okay, the original brand at least, right? Old Crow. Now tomorrow, if I get a chance, I'll try to do Old Crow versus the Evan Williams Black Label, the main, you know, the mainstream version, the flagship bourbon. Now this is not even featured on the website, okay? You will not see this on the Evan Williams website. As far as they're concerned, in a relationship with the public, it doesn't exist. You'll see that with Pabst Brewing Company, their beer brands. They have beers like Carling Black Label and Country Club, and they don't exist on their website as part of their portfolio. Tyler Mansell says, welcome back from work. Sipping on Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. Just got back from a run. Hey, that's a good beer option. Back with Boondock Brew View says, pop a top. Well, I'm twisting a top. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not popping a top, but I'm twisting the top. Twisting a cap. So twist a cap. Yeah. Oh, I'm getting low. I don't know if I'm going to have enough to go through the other taste challenges. I hope so. It's going to be a close call. I'm not going to go buy any more, though. Got too much now. Well, this one's a little fuller, but they're both typical appearance. But these are lighter. They're not dark amber, but they're gold. They're gold. Clear gold. With some alcohol eggs. So these are more similar than different. They're aged 3 years. They're both from Kentucky. They're both aged in new charred white oak barrels. They're both sour mash whiskeys. They're both at least 51% corn. And one is charcoal filtered, the Evan Williams, and the Old Crow, I don't know about that. All right. Hasn't seemed to make too much of a difference, but it does make some difference. Just like you get some beers that are charcoal filtered. I'd like to find out which beers are charcoal filtered. I know the Schlitz Gold Bull is charcoal filtered, and I mean it's too strong. I couldn't drink that on a regular basis by any means. You know, once a year is fine, but my friend David and his friend, the mystery lady, they were just like blown away with it. They thought the charcoal filter made a difference because they said the best lager they ever tried, you know, mass-produced lager. And so they were just, I had a feeling they were going to like it when I bought it. And they used to charcoal filter the Old English 800 malt liquor, but that stopped after the Miller buyout. Oh well. So, but there's still a facility over there to do the filtering, because I know the Schlitz VSL, the Gold Bull is charcoal filtered and they're produced by Miller, so they must have an area where they have the barrel, the big container, and they dump it in the charcoal, let it drip through. All right. I'm gonna keep my eyes closed because one is a little fuller than the other, and I don't want to tip myself off. It's woody, it's sweet. I've said this in the past that the bourbons to me taste and smell like candy almost. Now you might say, oh, that's dangerous. See, you get addicted because it's like candy. Yeah, but I don't. I like to eat candy, like chocolate candies or caramel, but not too much. So, you know, once a day I'll eat some, but I'm not a person that would be sitting here all day eating candy. So if I'm saying it's like candy, then I wouldn't be sitting here all day sipping on it. I'd do these challenges and that's it for the day. Woody, sweet, the vanilla, the mint, the oak, all these wonderful flavors. And that's why I like to try the whiskeys, you know, the liquor, whiskey, brandy, gin, the beer, the wine, because I just like to explore the flavors and the aromas. That's about it. And then talk about it. If they're really, you know, if they're excellent or good or fair or bad or undrinkable, that kind of thing. Then research the history of the brands. That's about the extent of what I do, right? We're going to do an Evan Williams examination next Wednesday night at 6:30. That's what we're planning to do. I don't think I'm going to do any more group examinations because I was saying that yesterday morning. I don't think I can handle these groups. My psychological or my personality is not adequate for these. I don't think it works with the groups ultimately, because I'm too paranoid and I'm too like ill at ease, and then I'll get like upset, you know, because then people they'll tell me, oh, I want to join your group. And this has happened so many times in the past. I want to join your group. I want to join your group. And they're all so hot to do it. And then I was saying, I don't know, you know, and I let them join. And then they're just so excited. Oh, let's do it. And then they don't show up anymore, you know, and they lose interest in 2 weeks. Maybe I do things to irritate them. But I just think I think the main reason people are like really fickle and they're on the internet and they're just jumping around. You do one thing. They're hot for something one day and then they're not hot the next. And we see that in beer review. They start a new channel and it's going to be so fantastic and so in depth, and they're going to do all these things, and they got this big schedule, and then they get me interested, and I'll subscribe, and yeah, that's a really good review, and the second one, and then the third, then they disappear. I mean, I understand some people get health problems or job, whatever, but I think mainly they just lose interest and then they're off to something else. And people do that with relationships too, right? Like romantic relationships. They meet somebody, I love you. Then they drop them like a bad habit when they meet somebody else. So you have this like fractured society today with a lot of problems. Okay, but I'm not saying, I'm not whining about it. I'm just saying, so as far as the hangouts and me in the groups, I don't see it going on. I don't know. Just like I say, I'm not good for it. I was talking to Paul last night, yesterday afternoon, one of my former hangout partners. He had to stop because of the children. And he needed to watch them. They were always beating on the door when he was trying to do it. And he was like, yeah, I understand. Yeah, it makes sense to me. I said, you know, I'm kind of nutty, right? Yeah, kind of nutty, but he's been knowing that since 1985. Okay, so this one here, it's woodier, it's richer, but I mean, we're talking about marginally, so it's not profoundly richer, woodier, or more aromatic. So the price of these two bourbons, if you get the glass standard size bottle, is the same, $10.99, $10.99. You know, it'll fluctuate, but around that, around $10.99. So probably after I finish this, I'll just determine that it's best to shop price, right? Yeah, wood, vanilla, the mint. All those nice characteristics that I like to taste. And people might say, what kind of mixed drinks do you like to make? I really don't. Sometimes I'll add ice. If it's like the really harsh, you know, bonded bourbons or bonded whiskeys. But usually I just prefer to drink them straight. That's me. You may have your own preferences. I like to get the real true flavor of the product. You see now, this one to the right, maybe your left, I was talking about how it had a less pronounced aroma, but the flavor seems stronger in the wood. It's funny how that works. Like, you get these little surprises. They're both pretty woody, and I have a feeling down inside, oh yeah, that everybody had a good year, right? Everybody let their hair down. No, I have a feeling that these both have maybe a relatively higher rye content than other brand bourbons, whiskeys, maybe. They're pretty peppery. Now, people might say, phooey. Old Crow and Evan Williams, everyone knows that's junk, trash, garbage, filth, slop, cheapo, rot gut whiskey. It ain't worth the $10.99. Well, I totally disagree with that. I mean, I cannot more strongly disagree. They both have very complex flavors. They taste really good, so I don't know where that's coming from. But, you know, you get that in the beer world, too. If it's a regular product, mass-produced, it's going to get ripped right from the first, you know, as soon as the starting gun is fired, it's going to start getting ripped. That's why I do blind taste it. Let's see. Alex Tube says, hey, Ron, where can I get Kingfish beer? Kingfisher? Huh. I really don't know. We used to get it around here. It disappeared when all the craft beers got heavier and heavier in the market. So honestly, I wish I could tell you, but I just don't know. I might show y'all some beers I got a hold of today. Whew. Boy, oh boy, you could really taste the char in this one to the right. This one to the right is so charred. It's like charred wood. That may not appeal to some people. They may not go for that charred smokehouse thing, you know. All right, but I think the one on the right has got to be the Evan Williams, because just from my recollection, I found that the Old Crow was milder. But I mean, I could be so wrong, because what happened yesterday morning? Go watch that video. Go watch all my videos. No, I got the green label mixed up with the black label. Got them mixed up. Couldn't tell them apart. Not correctly. Jay Smith says Caliber whiskey at Walmart. Oh, well, you know what? I got something to show you. He says it sucks, but give it a try, huh? Yeah, it's flavored. It's got flavorings, which is never a good sign, right? It's probably flavorings that make it taste more like it's real or something. But it's Canadian. I think you're talking about the Canadian blended whiskey. Now, from what I've been able to determine, the Canadian blended whiskey is all whiskey. They don't use the grain neutral spirits. But that doesn't mean it's good. I drank the Hartley brandy. It's all brandy. Yeah, it's brandy, all right. But really, you got to try Hartley because I can't explain it. You almost can't believe it. It's like, wow, this is produced in a massive amount. And I see it all over the United States and people buy it. Wow, it's like, you know, I just can't get over it. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I always give stuff a try, right? Tyler says, prayers to you, Ron. I like the food pairings you have been doing again. Oh, thanks, Tyler. Yeah, I can't get away from those food pairings. It's like, there's just not enough potted meat in Vienna sausage in this world. Or yellow onions and sausage and beans and Church's chicken, right? And gumbo. Absinthe is good too. Oh, no thanks. I said I was nutty to start with. Now, if I start messing with absinthe, I'll go off the crazy train. I'll go off the rails on a crazy train. Talk to Eric Anderson in California. He used to hang out with us a lot. He said he got busy with work, but he was messing with that absinthe. I thought he would act crazy when he would drink it. If you ask me, he was just like going mad. And I said, Eric, why are you messing with that stuff? That's good, man. Oh, yeah, well. I was like, okay, but I'm not doing it. All right, so I think this is Old Crow. Let me check. Whew. I got it right. I feel better. I felt pretty down in the dumps yesterday after I got those other two mixed up. I mean, I was just so depressed. I couldn't get over it. So, okay. Here's the final word on this. All right. If you want a cheap bourbon, you could buy Old Crow, which is so mild. Bill McIntosh down in Florida said it was dull. Yeah, I think some people would use that term, but I think a lot of people like it because it's mild, you know. That's why they buy Canadian Mist. That's really dull, but by design. Now, let's not rip on Canadian Mist because it was designed to be dull. And they explained that. There's some videos where the company is explaining why they designed it that way. So, but if you want a cheap bourbon that is very woody, like a strong, really profound wood and spicy rye flavor, this is one to try. Now, I know a lot of y'all can't get this green label, but that's what screwed me up yesterday morning. I was saying, oh, this is so strong, profoundly woody. It can't just be a 3-year bourbon. Right now, I was thinking it's got to be the 5-year. Evan Williams want to age 5 years. But I was wrong. Oh, I'm going to tell you, there's got to be something with that charcoal filter. Now, it's the black label charcoal filter. This I cannot pin down. I believe at one time it was. It used to say it on the label, charcoal filter. But go to your local liquor store, your grocery store, and look at the current Evan Williams bottles. They don't say that. They do not say charcoal filter. They say extra oak aged on the left side and genuine sour mash on the right side. Now, look at the Evan Williams website. They're showing the older bottle label where it says charcoal filter on the left and genuine sour mash on the right. See, to me, that means something. Now, these companies are notorious for not updating their websites. And I mean notorious. And sometimes there's really no excuse, like Anheuser-Busch keeping the Michelob Brewing Company website up there, and it's never updated, and they're giving you wrong information about the products. It's like, come on, man. They're even talking about Michelob beers that haven't been produced for years, 4 years, maybe 5 years. So that's inexcusable, really. Inexcusable, but not surprising, and honestly not unusual. All right, so that's that. That's it for the whiskey. This is all the liquor for today. Now you might say that's not really a lot of liquor. I know, like 2 ounces, maybe 3, but probably more like 2.5. Sorry, folks, I'm just not a big drinker. I'm a steady drinker, but I'm not a big drinker. I got people that'll write me comments, oh, I drank so much Crown Royal last night. I'm like, yeah, I know somebody that died doing that at 49 years old. Yeah, he drank a lot. Yeah, baby. Lost his job. Lost his sanity. Lost his life. So I was never a party drinker, and I have never liked the concept. Okay, I just don't like the concept. I've seen too many bad things happen. I just don't like it. Now, let me show you, if you want to see this. People are always saying, I don't want to see this. I'll show you some things real fast. Hold on. Okay. All right. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. All right. First. Oh, Uncle Neville. Uncle Neville the Devil. Uncle Neville the Devil. Handcrafted red India Pale Ale. Remember, they used to be called hoppy red ales, and then IPAs became the rage. So then all of a sudden, everything was an IPA. 7% alcohol, 62 IBUs. I bought this today at my Thursday. It was $1.99. Is that a good price for a single? Not really, but at least I'm only buying one. And I didn't like the other. This is a weird bottle because it's got an indentation. It's like not quite round on the side. They must have bought it from like an inferior bottle company. You know, it's like, did they make their own glass? But the other two from Natchez, I didn't like them. So I hope this one's good. Then I was given 2 beers. You heard me right. A manager at a store said, I'm not going to name the manager. I'm not going to name the store. If you think about it, you'll figure that out. He said, you want to try these samples? I said, naturally. So he said, well, pick 2 that you want. So I went through the little stash. He was saying Carbosh, but it's not Carbosh, it's Carbach. I picked Love Street Cold Style Blonde. And then the distributor for Anheuser-Busch, the area salesman, he told me, this is not even released yet. And look, they have the sign up already. And I don't know if that's not released. I've done no research on Carbach. I mean, on Love Street. So that'll be interesting. And then we have the Pop, the Carbach Carbachtoberfest. Never seen that before. Carbachtoberfest got a pretzel. It's talking about all the malts, the fermentation, 5.5% alcohol. It says eins, zwei, Gesufa. Okay, whatever. So those might be good. I had some Carbach before, the Rodeo Clown, I believe it was, and Hopadillo, but not the two. And the manager said he wanted to take some home and try some. These were just samples given by the company to the distributor to give to stores. So now here we go. Somebody's talking about Caliber. Oh, Tyler says, love that street. I'm sure will be delicious. Oh, that Love Street, I'm sure. Well, I hope it's delicious. I bet it will, because Carbach has a good reputation. Uh-oh. A smooth and mellow blend from our master distillers, Caliber, premium Canadian. Whoa, whoa. Now, you know this has got to be good because it's a 750 milliliter bottle and it costs $5.96. Now, it's got to be good. It's $5.96 for a 750 milliliter plastic bottle. You gotta love a thud. You gotta love a thud. Gotta love a thud. And it's Canadian whiskey with natural flavors. Oh boy. It's got a crown and 2 maple leaves. So it's Royal Canadian. It's the Canadian Crown, the Royal Canadian flavored blended stuff. Distilled from premium grain. Bottled by IWA Distilling Company Limited of Louisville, Kentucky. Limited. That's a British and Canadian word for incorporated. Of Louisville. Okay. In other words, Sazerac. Yeah, I did some research. It's one of those what they call trade names, and they were listing all the trade names for Sazerac. There's like 50. There's 50 different companies that have all these fancy names. Kentucky Specialty Distillery, blah 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 blah, and it's all Sazerac. Then you can look up Heaven Hill, and there's like 50 for them, and Jim Beam, and there's 50 for them. So buyer beware. Now here's something. Now you say that stuff looks so lowbrow. I know, and the more lowbrow it is, and the more I look at something and say this should not be, the more I can't resist buying it. Oh boy, Heir to the Throne, matured in oak cask, ultra smooth blended Canadian whiskey, product of Canada. That makes sense since it's Canadian whiskey. 40% alcohol, 750 milliliters. Look at this. It's got that crown. That looks like an imperial eagle. Like, okay, a Russian eagle, a crown, 2 cross swords, maple leaves, a fleur-de-lis, lion or griffins. Look at that. Heir to the crown. Which crown? The British crown, the Canadian crown. It says Rebel Spirits, Gardena, California. Okay, I was reading about Rebel Spirits on their website. They import all kind of oddball stuff and private label stuff that nobody else gets, and they distribute it to big companies like Walmart. Heir to the Throne. Now this is in glass. It was $15-something, $15.95 at Walmart. Closeout. They tried selling it for a good price and no one would buy it. Now they're selling it for a closeout price. I bought it. Doesn't look like anybody else is buying it. Did some research on the Walmart website. Guess what? They don't even show it. It's not on the website. I did a Google search. I did a Yahoo search, a Bing search. Well, guess what? Can't even find a picture of this stuff. Can't find nothing. Nothing. So if you want to obscure, this could be your thing. Yeah, it's sort of like a Crown Royal knockoff. But nobody was falling to that. No one was falling for that. Alex Tube says, hey, Ron, reason I know about the Kingfisher beer is because I watched one of your videos. You talked about it, and I want to know where I can get it. That video was like 5 years ago, okay, Alex? And that was back when I could go to Martin Wine Cellar, and they had all kind of stuff that is not in their store anymore. In 5 years, everything is almost flipped. Almost 100% of the stuff I could get 5 years ago at Martin Wine Cellar, I cannot get today. It's been pushed out mostly by Louisiana craft beers. Okay, so I really cannot tell you where to get it. I just don't know. I could say I can give you some advice. Look up United Beverages. I think that's the company. UB. It's an Indian company from India. You know, obviously it's from India. They own the Kingfisher line. Now in India, there's probably 10 different Kingfisher varieties. In America, there's one. Okay. It's contract brewed in America by Saranac Brewery. Hold on a minute. Let me think about that. I think that's who does it. Saranac, FX Matt. But now that's all I know. I usually tell people the same thing. Call your local distributor and ask them. They'll tell you. They're not going to tell you we don't know. They'll tell you if they have it. So that's all I can say. I would tell you more. I just don't know. Jay Smith says yes. Ha ha ha. Okay. All right. So that's it. Enough jibber jabber. I'm off. I'll see y'all tomorrow, perhaps, if I do the Black Label Evan Williams versus the Old Crow. Thank you for watching this video production. Now I'm going to go get beer. Yeah, 2 whole beers tonight. 2 whole beers.